Would you hand over your personal information to a criminal? Well, if you're signing up for Obamacare, it could be happening. Welcome, everyone. I'm Eric Bowling in for Neil Cavuto, and this is Your World. Remember when Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius asked this?
Isn't it true that there is no federal requirement for navigators to undergo a criminal background check?
That is true. States could add an additional background checks and other features, but it is not part of the federal requirement.
So a convicted felon could be a navigator and could acquire sensitive personal information from an individual unbeknownst to them.
That is possible.
Well, now we know it is happening. A new report finding at least 43 convicted criminals working as Obamacare navigators in California. They include people convicted of forgery, petty theft, and fraud, and that's just California. Across the country, it's raising big concerns. To the reporter who broke the story, Jillian K. Melcher is with the National Review. Jillian, allegedly 43, right?
It's actually for sure 43.
Okay.
These are statistics directly from Covered California, the health exchange. And I think they're really disturbing. I mean, on one hand, you want to give former criminals a chance to work in the legitimate economy, but people with multiple forgery convictions, repeat offenses, handling Social Security numbers, financial papers, getting the home address of people who are being compelled to buy health coverage, that's crazy.
Yeah, who knows what they're going to do with them. If
Exactly.
they have a history already, you may put two and two together and come up with four, and you'd be right. Let's talk about this. They handed this information over to you. What did you have to do?
They did. So I've filed information requests in a lot of states with their
FOIA
own
requests.
state-based exchanges. And they gave me statistics. They wouldn't actually give me the records. They had a kind of funny explanation for that. They said, and you've got to follow the train of logic here, that high enrollment is within the public interest. Letting people know about criminal convictions of navigators may deter enrollment. Therefore, releasing the records is against the public interest. I
wonder what the public interest is served with all these criminals having our information.
Interest.
So that's California. Do you think it's happening elsewhere?
You know, I definitely think it's happening elsewhere. We talked to New Mexico, got some statistics back from them, found out that 1 in 7 navigators has a hit in the FBI database. Now, we don't know whether that's a conviction in that state in particular, but we're also fighting for those records in other states. In Nevada right now, we're suing after the public information officer for the Division of Insurance hung up the phone on me. I don't think they want this information out there.
Why wouldn't? Don't they have to give it to you? You file your FOIA request and they have to turn it over, do they not?
One would think. I mean, I think this information is clearly within the public realm, clearly within the public interest to disclose, but there's clearly also a political agenda for not disclosing it, and I think in Nevada in particular, that's what's at work.
So you're going to sue all these different states. What about the feds? Can you do the same thing with the feds?
You know, the feds don't even have a background check requirement, which I think is shocking. In 31 states, no background checks whatsoever.
So hold on, stop there for a second. So you want to become a navigator for the federalhealthcare.gov, and they don't even check your background to find out if you're a criminal?
Don't even check your background. 31 states, no background checks whatsoever. And in California, they have a background check established that's pretty stringent, but it's pretty clear that it's not doing a good job of screening out the bad guys. I mean, you've got somebody with a forgery conviction, burglary conviction in between, 12 years later, another forgery conviction. You know, I would not feel safe handing my information over.
Jillian, it's great information. As you get these other FOIA requests, as they turn over the documents, you'll let us know what you're finding.
Absolutely.
Jillian K. Melcher, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Obamacare was supposed to help the uninsured, but a new poll finds even the uninsured don't even like it. 47% now have an unfavorable opinion. Only 24% actually like it. That's a big slide from a month ago. Ellison Barber is with the Washington Free Beacon. Ellison, it begs the question, why are we even doing this if the people who are supposed to help don't even like it?
Right. It really is an interesting survey. And one of the most interesting things to me is the fact that within that group, you have 38% of the uninsured that aren't really sure about what the exchanges are, which you guys were just talking about, the navigators. And when you think about the millions of dollars that the government has spent on navigators to inform and get these people enrolled, they've spent $684 million on ad campaigns to drum up what this is so people enroll. And you still have a lot of people that, one, don't like it, the people who know about it, and two, some people don't even know about the exchanges. It really is shocking.
Ellison, I'm doing the math. I'm just putting a pencil to paper here a little bit. President Obama claimed around 40 million people, Americans, were uninsured. If almost 50% of those, you got to assume 15 to 20 million people have an unfavorable opinion, and they're not the insured. Why? Why does this not bubble up in every single Republican who's going to go up for election against the Democrat in 2014?
Right, it probably should. I mean, you think about who the group of these uninsured typically are. They're your low-income working families. And a lot of those people probably expected this to be a lot cheaper than it was. And if you have up to 400% of the federal poverty line, you can be eligible for subsidies. But even within that, you're eligible for different percentages of subsidy. So a family of 4 who's making $50,000 a year, they're not eligible for 100% subsidy. It'll be something in the 40s, and then they'll still end up paying premiums that wind up being something around over $400 a month, or various things like that. So I think what you have is you have a lot of people that are lower income that went to go and apply for this. They thought they were going to get full subsidies, and then they realized, oh wait, my subsidy is a lot less than I thought, and this is still really expensive, and I can't really afford this. And I think that's why you're seeing more people not look at this favorably. I mean, within this, the institute that put out this new survey, they also have a thing on their website that's a subsidy calculator. And if you go in there and you put in something like, say you're a 30-year-old who's a single adult who doesn't smoke and makes $30,000 a year, you end up being eligible for something like $366 subsidy by their account. That still means that you're paying over $200 a month in premium. So I think the issue here is that people thought it was going to be more affordable than it was, and they're not liking it when they get on and realize that it's not affordable.
And not only that, one of the things that's very, very shocking when you go to the website, and I've done this before, is the deductible. When you go there, if you want to keep your premiums down, which a lot of these people uninsured may want to do, if you want to go for that low, the bronze plan, your deductible is massive, which means your out-of-pocket expense up front is huge, and maybe that's adding to the 47% or so who say that they have an unfavorable opinion of the health care law.
Absolutely. And like I said, you have to remember what the demographic and what type of people are in these uninsured groups. And they are low-income working families. And when you have a family and you're working to make ends meet, you really can't be just spending a lot of money on these more glorified health plans. And that's what they're asking them to do. And when people see that, they're saying, maybe no.
Yeah, exactly right. So if it's $5,000 or $6,000 deductible plus $300 or $400 per month, you're talking $10,000, $12,000, sometimes $15,000 of out-of-pocket expenses first. Ellison, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much.